dude, like
Retro Bowl.
Hello everybody, welcome back to another MC review. I am joined by
Joan, I'm going first. Jonah Morgan.
and
Wilson Bat.
today we're here to talk about Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Yeah. Pretty solid. I like this one.
When this movie came out, I would have told you 10.
There was a lot of hype coming out of the theater for this one.
It was sick.
We
It was sick.
watched it together.
We did.
Me,
It was
you, and your dad.
sick.
It was
Okay.
my second time seeing it.
Okay, what little bad? Okay, what little do we want to do bad then good?
Yes.
I'm gonna start off with a hot take that you might heavily disagree with me for. I think the sister is forgettable.
She is. I agree with that.
She doesn't have much content. She's
She
just
doesn't have
kind
many
of there.
lines.
She's kind of
Her only lines are like, "Hey, you left me, suck it."
Yeah.
and a couple of other lines here and there. She's like,
At the
there's this line.
at the very end, she gets to ride the dragon with him. Like,
I kind of don't
Oh, you're
like her.
here. she's okay.
She's fine.
She's fine. She doesn't take away. She doesn't add anything. So she's just kind of there.
I'm gonna go with that.
She's supposed to be part of this movie. It kind of hurts.
Yeah.
I agree.
She-
The
she's
only like scene where she's really good is when you first meet her.
Yeah, because she.
Has personality.
Otherwise, she's just kind of forgettable for the rest of this movie. I'm gonna kind of bounce right off of that with another, I guess, kind of hot take. I don't like the friend. I don't like Katie.
I think she's fine.
I
She's
love
funny.
Katie.
She's what she needs to be. I think she serves her role really well.
I
She's
think
a
so.
solid actress,
I
honestly.
think I
which,
love.
I mean,
I love. Yeah, I had Crazy Rich Asians,
For-
and
yeah.
my nephew has probably watched Ride and the Last Dragon 20,000 times.
It's a great
she
movie.
did a good
And
job in that.
so I've heard her voice, and like I know like her acting style is like just this, and I like it.
Right. I mean, she's essentially this movie's
But
head. She's like
But not as good.
Christian, she's good. Christian,
She's
I'll
okay.
Christian, I'll say it makes sense. You don't like her because you don't like Darcy.
That's true. You also do not like
Yeah.
Darcy.
She's very Darcy.
I never thought about that.
And I
She's very
love
much like
Darcy.
I love Darcy.
Another thing, how did
You
she
just don't like
shoot-
having fun. You don't like comedy.
Yeah.
You don't like having fun. You're not funny.
You don't like having fun. Fun is not a
I
thing.
don't like having fun. Sure, buddy. But that's another thing tying into
You're
her.
like-
How did she shoot that arrow
That's
through
my
the
one
dragon's
big.
neck?
That's my really only thing that I have that's
Magic.
inherently really wrong. Matt, I'll just like leave it up to hey magic.
Magic arrow.
Okay, she's probably a good 500 or 600 yards away from this dragon, right?
Yeah.
She shoots it, and instead of the arrow just kind of and being short, it like
It's like gravity-
takes off
gravity-
like a rocket.
No.
Gravity applies to it not at all, and it just keeps going.
Like it's
Tension on that bow must have
yes,
been like
yeah, and so not only does it
insane.
have the speed to get to the dragon,
It also goes
but
straight through
it
the
also
dragon.
has the
I
speed
wanna know
to
the
make a
poundage on the
giant.
bow.
How hard that
Yeah.
bowstring was to pull back. You also have to think it had enough speed to just
Yeah.
pop its throat.
And
But
not
it's
decrease
magic.
its speed.
I'll be like,
arrow.
hey, it's fine, because that's not what ultimately ends up winning the fight. So
It doesn't.
I'll be
Yeah.
fine.
It
It gives
nearly
me advantage.
staggers.
We
the
can talk
thing.
about that here in a little bit.
Yeah. That's
Is there anything else you need to complain about in this
No.
movie?
There's not.
typical phase for some green screen and CGI is kind of
There's
Yeah,
only a
there's a few
couple
shots,
shots.
there's
There's only
a few
a
shots,
couple
but not
shots.
as much.
Questionable.
But
Not as much as
but,
most of the other stuff.
But other than those couple shots, this movie's beautiful.
Oh yeah.
This movie looks fantastic.
Yeah.
The whole like the scene with her fight club, the scene at their
Talo.
Talo, there it is. It looks like this movie looks fantastic.
It does look pretty dang good.
And you want to talk about good? Let's get the big thing out of the way. This choreography.
Yeah.
It's the best
Holy
it's the
crap.
best action in any Marvel movie ever.
Wow.
Mm.
I mean, it's really
Because
good.
okay, yeah, like we
I'm
like
a sucker for martial
we
arts.
like
fighting, so-
practical action.
Right, yeah, yeah.
I was just like,
absolutely.
Like if you talk about good action, like Infinity War is good action, but it's like a lot of CGI,
Yeah, right.
a lot of guns and
the
stuff.
practical stuff
Winter-
where there's absolutely no magic stuff.
Winter
going on,
Soldier.
That's great, but at the beginning of this movie, you get that bus.
Cool,
fight.
fantastic,
No,
amazing.
really not much CG magic stuff going on.
And he's doing his own stunts.
Yeah,
It's so-
he's doing all that.
What's his name again?
Simu Liu?
Yeah, or is it just Lou?
Simu Liu. It's
Liu.
Liu.
Yeah. But he's like a Jackie Chan kind of, like Jackie Chan, Bruce
he's
Lee.
pretty much
He
like
does-
this
he-
generation's.
He does all of his own stunts. He threw out a first pitch at MLB game and did a backflip right afterwards.
Just like that.
No,
and Shang-Chi himself is such a well-written character.
I haven't seen a single clip, behind the scenes clip of where he has a stunt double. I don't know if he even had a stunt double.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's always so good when you see actors just not have stunt doubles.
It's so great when you see a good character.
Yeah. I said this while we were watching the movie. I think of every new character introduced in Phase 4, he's my favorite.
Yeah, because Moon Knight, he's good. The acting is fantastic. I've seen a couple episodes of it.
Okay. But for me, it's a
I've seen enough memes to where I understand the character enough.
Between Shang-Chi and Moon Knight, they're the two characters I think are the two best new introduced characters in Phase 4. I do think I give the slight edge to Shang-Chi, though.
Well, because the whole thing with Moon Knight is his acting is fantastic.
I also just think he's really well written.
He probably needs to get an Emmy. Oscar Isaac needs an Emmy for that.
Shang-Chi as a character is just so well written. The actor really sells the role.
Villain.
Good, fantastic, amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Are we saying the villain's the father?
Yeah. Right now the father.
Yeah, I think he was very, very good.
He's great.
When I went into this movie, I was so skeptical about having the Mandarin as the villain. Because I think of Mandarin, I think arch enemy of Iron Man, and I'm thinking, why are they finally bringing in the real Mandarin after Iron Man is dead? But then I watched this movie and I went,
that's why. It's awesome.
Oh, that's why. Because
he's the mafia.
Awesome.
Because this is the best way they could have brought him into the MCU.
Yeah, I mean, I always
he's one shot, but
when the villain is the main character's father, that's always it's always a good little tool in writing. I'm gonna get really nitpicky with this movie. The costume's not that good.
You don't like the costume?
It's not that good.
I like the costume.
It's a weird shirt with rolled up sleeves.
They're gonna fix it. They'll be fine.
I hope so.
That's what I said. Is his costume?
It's kind of bland.
The shirt is a good start. That is what when I said coming out of this movie. That's a good start. That is a good start for his. It was just generic armor they were giving out to everybody because his sister has the same thing,
except
it's white.
I hope
they'll do a suit.
Legit suit or something like that.
I think it works for what they do.
Yeah, I really like it.
It doesn't look great though.
I like it.
This movie lacks a romantic subplot, which I'm not saying is essential, but there's really not.
It feels like they tried bringing one in.
Please don't.
I don't think they should. I don't think those two characters.
They're a friend dynamic.
They're a very friend dynamic. Honestly, I think she's gay.
Honestly, I think Shang-Chi should just be in love with Wong.
Facts. That's what I'm saying.
Because Wong is in this movie.
10.
Yes. 10. Wong's in this film.
10, he's in the movie.
And he's singing my favorite song.
We haven't even talked about your favorite person yet.
Oh!
Who are you talking about?
Trevor!
I love Trevor. Trevor's amazing. I love Ben Kingsley, the actor who plays Trevor. He's fantastic.
This movie honestly redeemed Trevor as a character for me.
And this movie is honestly what makes Iron Man 3 bearable for me. Honestly, I'm not even gonna lie.
I can understand why.
No, this movie, I love Trevor so much. He's only in the middle part. He's not in the very last sequence a lot, but then it shows him. It's an act. It's a show. I love Trevor. Trevor's great. And Morris, I would die. I would die for him.
I've only known this thing for 5 minutes, but if anything happened to it, I would kill everybody.
The little critter who's played by Captain Rex.
Mm-hmm.
And Perry the platypus. I never knew that until Jonah brought it up.
Yeah, he's everybody.
I mean, there's not much you can say. It's a solid film. Daddy issues. Put a number on it.
Part 22.
Part 22.
Yeah, we talked about the action, but I just want to the choreography.
Let's just bring it back to the action.
The choreography, yeah, I feel like that's what we need to do with this because the choreography is just.
Because that can also tie into the third act in the movie.
Yeah,
which I think is the most controversial topic of this movie. Is the third act.
Whenever I first came out, I was like, dude, that was a lot.
I personally really liked it. It felt like watching anime.
At first, yes. I've since came around to that in the fact that whenever I first came out of the movie, I was like, that was the only thing I was skeptical about. The movie was the final act. I'm like, that was a lot. But now I realize it's a lot in a understandable way.
Yeah.
Because it's anime.
Yeah, I just have a really large bone to pick with this movie in that it just doesn't quite have much personality. You know what I mean? There's not much personality to it. The action is incredible. And it carries this film, I think. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, just some of the characters are...
The sister's fine.
It's just not
some of the characters... So you're saying some of the characters...
Not the characters in a sense. I think it's just some of the writing. Because I think the performances are good. I think the actors chosen are pretty solid in their roles. I just think it's some of the writing is just a little bit, like, it just doesn't have the same oomph as like a top
As
5.
Optimus Prime giving a speech.
Right. There's just not that.
It's not
that
the
much
same
there.
level of writing for something like Black Panther.
Right, because that is next level. But like it
Black
just
Panther,
doesn't quite have
Infinity
that.
War.
Yes,
It's
that
not the same
punch.
level of Black Panther, Infinity War, Winter Soldier.
Yeah, this movie lacks personality to me.
I think they're gonna focus on Shang-Chi a lot more in the next.
I hope so.
I really
like the character.
because
I'm very impatient to see him again.
Because they have said that he is like, he's like in the top 3 most powerful like Avengers.
Like actively
Those
in the
rings
Marvel
are
Cinematic Universe, he's
strong.
probably one of the most powerful.
And we only see it for a little bit, but in the stuff, that's probably the final thing we can talk about is the rings and the final, like,
Yeah.
not the final fight with like, the dragon, but like that's cool too. But
But also
him,
the
his
post-credit
dad,
scenes.
when he catches the crap.
Yeah,
That's
the
so
fight
sick.
with his dad, yeah,
The
was
one-on-one
very, very cool.
fight with starting on the main.
That's
island.
probably the highlight of the movie, if I had to say.
Yeah.
Is that one-on-one fight where you see the rings used in so many different ways.
Yeah, it's really cool.
He catches 5 of them. They play catch. Yeah, that's
They do literally play catch.
yeah.
Yes.
He catches 5 of them, then he catches when he throws the other 5 at him, he starts to make like a little catcher's mitt kind of thing and catches the other 5.
Yeah, you see it for a split second, but he starts to.
Yeah, and then he almost Kamehamehas him, but he doesn't. Yeah, honestly, just the rings are just the highlight of the movie, honestly.
But I do like how the father kind of has this moment of like sort of redemption where he gives up the rights to
Dies.
Shang-Chi to give up his life to save him.
Yeah.
And I do also part of Shang-Chi's character where he's kind of just he's been trained to be an assassin since 7 years old because the mother got killed.
The mother got murked.
Got murked, and
Yeah.
he's been trained since he was 7 to be an assassin. And at the beginning, he tells Katie, it's like, "Oh, my father sent me on a mission." Well, did you do it? No. Then later on, it's like,
But he
Don't
definitely.
you guys feel like that he's a little bit too much of a goofball for like having
I
he's been running up
completely agree
an
with what you're saying right now.
assassin
Yes, absolutely.
and like watching
That's one thing
his
I will say
father
is
murder
his
people
his upbringing doesn't mesh well with
his
how he
active
acts.
life,
I completely agree.
I that's the one thing I felt this when I first watched
And
this
no,
movie.
I like him as a
His-
character, but it doesn't make sense with his backstory.
Yes, I guess his like secret life or
Because
whatever.
he's been in that secret life for 10 years.
Still,
So,
but
I
still-
feel so disconnected from.
You were
the-
trained from 7 until what? How old?
14.
Yeah.
You're
be a killer.
trained for 7 years, and that all you did for those 7 years was you were taught every single way to kill a man. You would not be the same ever.
And he just.
Now I like his.
I enjoy it.
I like
Yes,
his
I enjoy
character,
the
but I like his character. But if you think about it, and it's kind of weird, but I like it. It's
I can give
Feels
it
a
the
little
benefit.
disconnected.
I can give it the benefit of the doubt because it's been 10 years and he's probably just tried to leave as much of that life behind as he can.
it'd be near impossible.
But I feel like they probably could have dialed it back a little bit.
I'd
With
say just that. That'd be fine.
But that's also another Marvel problem I face for is too much comedy.
Yeah.
Joss
too much
Whedon.
not funny
Joss
comedy.
Whedon.
And Taika.
Joss Whedon syndrome, and Taika.
I like
love
Taika.
Taika, but
I like Taika, but chill.
Are the post-credit scenes all that we have left?
Yeah.
The second one's just kind of alright, just the sister taking over the 10 rings, and that's that, yada yada yada.
Yeah,
Moving on to
she'll
the
be back.
next
And the
one.
first one is my favorite post-credit scene of all time.
Because it shows Wong examining the 10 rings. You have Bruce Banner and Captain Marvel with a much better haircut on
She
like
do
the
look kinda
projection
funky,
type things from Endgame, and they're examining the rings and they're saying they're transmitting something. And it's always been curious as like, what is it? And it's like that was the big
One of the most
like,
powerful beings ever.
Mm-hmm. And then the recent Ant-Man 3 trailer had like stuff that looked like those rings in the quantum realm. So Kang.
Kang.
But
Cool.
yeah, and then it's like essentially Bruce telling him, "Oh,
Hey, you're part of the Avengers.
you're an Avenger now."
Yeah, he says, welcome to the circus.
That was
He says,
Banner says.
What does he say? Welcome to the circus. He says,
something
welcome to
like
the
that,
circus.
Yeah, that's what
Hey,
it says.
welcome to the Avengers, yeah.
And then what do the Shang-Chi, Katie, and Wong do?
Sing the greatest song ever made.
They'll go sing karaoke and it's Hotel California. And it's very good.
and they don't finish the song. Okay, this is your movie's a 0 out of 10, and the credits they continue to play Hotel California, but they cut it off before it gets to the last verse and the guitar duet. I'm mad.
Yeah, they don't
Have a
finish
good
the
day.
song.
They don't.
Speaking
They
of
don't
the
let me
sound-
I mean,
Soundtrack's also good.
yes,
Yes, the original soundtrack for this film, Leaving Out Hotel California, the OST, the original soundtrack is so good.
yes,
so
like his
great.
theme. I didn't realize.
Yeah,
it's good.
his theme is really good.
It's different. It's done not French horns and trumpets.
It's not like the fanfare-esque Marvel.
And it's a different sounding thing, and I like it. It's good.
So it fits the theme of the.
That's one thing that Marvel will consistently do well is soundtracks.
They do got some banger.
They drop some questionable movies, but the soundtracks are always
Yeah,
good.
they've got some. They got some dudes that are putting out fire soundtracks.
DC might catch them pretty soon.
DC's got some good.
DC's
good
got
guys
some
doing soundtracks too.
Black Adam's soundtrack is dumb. Okay, Logan, you go first. I'll go last because I'm probably gonna give this the highest of the three of us.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Okay.
Overall, I think there's some really, really, really good things about this movie that propel it forward, but I think it lacks in some major areas for me personally. So I can't give it too high, but I can't give it too low either. I'm going to give it an 8.2.
That'll be fine for me, honestly. Christian, go ahead.
So for me, I really, really like this movie. I think it did a great job of introducing this character. I had very low expectations going into it, and I came out very surprised. And I thought the choreography was great. A lot of the characters were great. And I was stuck between a small range of numbers when I went into it. And I think at the end of the day,
before you get the score wrong.
Wrong. I think at the end of the day, I'm honestly going to give this a 9 flat.
Oh, I thought he was... he said 9, and I thought he was going to say 5, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, no. I'm going to say a 9 flat. I really like this movie. It's one of my favorites in Phase 4, but that's, again, not exactly that. That's a low bar for this phase. But I still really enjoyed it. So.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, your turn.
Yeah, I'm not going to give this the highest, because that was the score that I wanted to give. It was 9 flat. I love this movie. Whenever I
so we're matching?
Whenever I first saw this is the first time we ever matched, I think. Me and Logan are usually the people that
it was always you two.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We're pretty same brain on most movies, but
yeah, this one for some reason it just hits, you know?
I got nitpicky with this one.
You know when a movie like hits and you can't really explain why?
Yeah.
If you would ask me like a week after this movie came out, I would have probably told you the word 10.
I remember we went to watch Venom 2 and you said like Shang-Chi was like top 5 for you. It was a month after.
It's probably top 10 for me. It's top 10, but yeah, it was probably a month after.
Yeah.
Because recency bias, we're all subject to it. None of us are above that. But, 9
happens
is
to everyone.
Great. I love it. Give me more Shang-Chi. Thank you. Have a good day.
So that will do it for Shang-Chi. I know I said we were going to do a separate re-review of Eternals, but I don't feel like doing that again. So let's just sum up the thoughts here to get it out of the way.
Christian, you go ahead because
I hate this movie. First time I watched it, I didn't mind it, but that review is like one that I'm not very proud of because it was way like I didn't have enough time for my thoughts to really set in. Looking back on it and having a lot more time for it to really sit on it, I just really, really don't like this movie. It's the only MCU movie I just hate. Most of the characters are just kind of or just, oh my god, why? On the whole, I'm going to, while I do not think it is like one of the worst things to ever exist.
Okay, that's a good step.
At the end of the day, and thinking back on it more, there is a good chunk that I like about the movie, but on the whole, nothing to save it. I'm gonna say 3.5.
Okay. Okay, I like...
To be fair, if I hadn't thought on it a little more, it would have been a 2. So you were right on it.
In that movie, I like a lot of the action.
Yeah.
I like a lot of the action.
I enjoy a lot of that movie.
When they're fighting Icarus at the end, it's good.
I think they just...
Crow can go suck it.
Really, the biggest
I didn't even know that was his name until I saw a pop figure.
I guess I'll give you some thoughts. I haven't seen it in forever.
We can give a combined thoughts.
From when I watched it, I didn't love it. But I think the biggest issue with this movie was just that it had too much dip on its chip.
Yes, I agree.
There was too much going on.
They tried to do a lot.
I think that set of characters would have worked better as a show.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I like a lot of the action. I like a lot of the dialogue.
And there's
like when they're at Festus, amazing.
Yeah.
Gilgamesh, fantastic. Icarus is fine. Icarus
Icarus
is one of the best looking people ever.
I didn't mind Icarus, yeah.
Cersei talks a lot.
Cersei does talk a lot, but I didn't hate her.
Sprite can go suck it.
Sprite was a little big.
Druid can go suck it.
Ugh.
What's eyebrow man? He's got he's got finger.
Oh yeah.
He's cool until he's like. He's
He
cool until he says, "I'll follow you to the end."
And then he never.
And then
he's like. So I agree with Icarus, but I also don't want the Earth to die. Then you don't want it. You don't follow Icarus. I hate that. Kingo is his name.
King. He doesn't follow Icarus because Icarus is bad man.
But he doesn't help stop
yeah,
it. He
there's
just
a lot of
dips in the third
And then Angelina Jolie's character, her entire character is pretty much
inconsistent power levels that I've ever seen him.
she's cool, man. She's cool, but she gets possessed like randomly. And then Crow, no. Sprite, get the ever-loving heck out
My
of here.
least favorite character in the entire MCU.
Oh, calm. Ajax, fine.
It's got a lot of good
barely
players.
there.
You already mentioned Fastos.
Yeah.
He's
I
great.
loved him.
I
I thought he was
love
awesome.
him. It's also that scene is home to the only DC reference in Marvel ever.
Yes.
In the MCU?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, it is because they
Absolutely.
make a Superman.
Yeah,
reference.
he said, "Yeah, are you Superman?" That's the only time the MCU has ever referenced DC. As a whole, I probably just give it like I'll give it 5.7. That's what I'll do. No, 6. I'll give it a 6.
I give it 6.5.
Honestly, I'll give it a 6.
I give it a 6.5.
And I love the post-credit scenes too. I want Blade.
yeah,
I want
Harry
Blade to be.
Styles.
I want Blade to be good.
Anything that's knocking
Honestly,
under a 5
you know
has
what?
to be-
I'm fine with it.
What I've seen from Harry Styles acting is good.
Yeah.
His
Honestly.
acting is good.
Yeah.
Did you
It's
watch No Way
very
Around
good.
Or did you watch
I've watched a lot of it.
I've
yes.
seen
It
enough.
was really
He's
good.
good.
It
He
was
is
really
a good actor.
Which I never thought I'd say.
I want people to give Harry and the MCU a chance. Give him.
Yeah,
to
I
me.
know.
And then
After watching, I laughed at it at first. After watching Don't Worry, Darling, I'm excited.
and then the Wesley Snipes Blade movies. Okay,
I need to
Does
see
he
those
love
again. It's
those?
been years.
I like the first one.
Oh.
I've heard the
Blade.
I've
Give
heard
me my
the-
Blade. Absolutely. It's been, and then now it's like the cause of a lot of movies
Delays.
being pushed back.
Yeah, it's because of that movie.
But Mahershala Ali, which he could probably put a picture right here, he's done the definition of what perfect casting looks like. As Blade, dude, that's so sick. Eternals served its purpose in the fact that it's given us a whole bunch of setup stuff.
It's given us a lot to chew on.
It's given us a lot to chew on.
It was a lot.
But I do think a whole bunch of the visuals are really cool.
Yes.
Anyway, those are the summed up thoughts on Eternals, since I just don't want to do that again. But
Yeah.
with that now wraps up every single MCU movie that is currently out. Finally. We've been here for a while.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Now we can
And now...
Now we can take a little break, do some other stuff in between. And
Transformer.
Well, no, next time is
Or
going
anything
to
more.
be what comes out next week, because the next review will be Black Panther
Wakanda.
Wakanda Forever. And then we can do a bit of a break.
Yeah, then we can take a chill pill and watch John Wick.
And then the
Watch John Wick.
next Marvel movie we have to do is in February. So
True.
Oh, yeah, which is one of my most anticipated movies
Is that
next year.
Guardians?
Hmm?
Is that Guardians or no? It's Ant-Man.
And Guardians is May.
Guardians is May.
Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you guys next time for Black Panther Wakanda Forever. See you later, Whippets.